Hello, everybody. This is Thomas Bolt, the writer, director, and inadvertently star of my latest short film, Awaken. This is the official commentary for the short film, and Dylan and I will also be doing a commentary soon. And we've got a bunch, and this should be coming out around the same time as a bunch of other behind the scenes stuff that we have coming for Awakened very soon. Alright, but without further ado, let's get started. So we have the old Thunderbolt Films logo. I tried to create another logo in time for this movie, but I just couldn't get the 3D right because I was trying something different, but it just didn't look good, so I just put the old one in. So I still like it, but it's, I made that in, God, what was it, 2013, 2014? I don't remember. It's been a long time, So the idea of this short film came about. I go a little bit more into it in behind the scenes because I don't want to take up too much time, but basically, like, this whole opening was pretty much always there from the very beginning. And actually, this whole sequence, this whole life, so to speak, was originally, at the very, very start, going to be like in the middle of the film. It was going to be the second part, and the first part would be when he wakes up in his bed. But I thought that was too cliche, because you don't want to start a film off when you're, waking up with an alarm clock. So we have that photo, and that is actually me and my mother, so my real mother. So her name's not Renee, by the way. So it's something else I'm not going to say because she probably doesn't want to be known that. So I do really like that shot, the swish pan, the cutaway, so right as the car passes by. So here we are downtown, and this is Brandon Dale. God bless him, because he came out on such short notice, and that shot's a cutaway. That's a pickup shot. We shot that a few blocks away because we couldn't show me with a gun. So I do. There was a cut there. So I like how a lot of it turned out. I'm not so pleased with the grain and everything. I kind of had to up the brightness and then hit it with some color correction. But I think it works, so it doesn't look too terrible. It's watchable, so I had to make sure the audio was good, too. So, I don't like that shot either.
Please.
Oh, there's the man, Jacob Goldfarb. I wish there was more of him in it because, well, every movie needs more Jake Goldfarb, so God bless him. I kind of wish that shot came out, and so did that, but you'll notice, and in the shot coming up, there's a lot of, well, you may not notice it, I hope you didn't notice it, but there's a lot of, most of the audio in this movie, I'd say for at least 75% of it was dubbed. Like, this shot right here, there's no natural sound, no sound from in-camera or on set, so everything was dubbed in with, like, me, like, touching my face or, rubbing, like, fabric together and everything. And the police sirens were added in too. And I remember I was editing this scene, and I heard some police cars passing by in the distance here from my house, and I thought, ooh, that'd be kind of cool to add in. So this kitchen scene where he's making breakfast, that was originally going to be longer. He was going to be cooking eggs, but it was too long, and it got kind of boring. So I just cut that out. And I also had to reshoot these scenes when I was of Michael eating breakfast, because the original shots were just too they were too soft, and I just didn't like how they looked. So that shot looks a little green there. So it was difficult because I had the difficult thing was my facial hair. I had to make sure my beard and my mustache, my goatee wasn't trimmed or anything. So, and I also had to make sure I hadn't shaved my my chops or my jaw or my sideburns or anything like that for like at least 2 days. So that scene was shot at an apartment complex. We just run and gun. And you may notice, you can kind of tell here that the audio was redubbed here. We didn't intend to do that, but it's just kind of grainy. But the audio, the original audio, because we're on kind of bumpy roads and everything, so we have the heat going because it was still cold at this point. So we ended up just going with it. We had to redub it in Dylan's studio. So, which you'll learn a little bit more about that in the behind the scenes. So I kind of based this scene off of the driving scene in Pulp Fiction, where they're, Jules and Vincent are talking about, burgers and everything like that. So, I want to say this. I did not want to play Michael in this movie. I did not want to act in this movie at all because I wanted to, which is partly why it took so long to make, to get off the ground, because I really wanted to, I really wanted to test myself as a director, see, if I can just focus on that. I wanted this to be a much bigger production than it ended up being, but, as it's just the reality of indie filmmaking, like I've said a lot of times, you just don't get a lot what you want. So, but we'll see what the next film brings us in, which as soon as I finish these behind the scenes, I'm gonna get started on that. So I'm really excited about it. You will hear Power of Love. Just a quick note, Power of Love by Huey Lewis is actually in the background. I actually pitched it up just a little bit just so you can't hear it. So, or so it wouldn't get flagged by copyright. So far, so good. So, so we actually couldn't get the proper close-up shots of the tire with the GoPro because we actually broke one of the mounts, and I think this really came out good. Oh, I love that. It came out really well. So. We'll go more into that behind the scenes, so if you want to learn more about that. So Dylan did a great job here. I can't get enough of him. I can't give Dylan enough credit for this movie. He just did so much. He did a lot of the camera work. He did that shot there. That was so good. And also special thanks to Ryan Long for lending me his slider. So, oh, that scream is so good. So, yeah, but as I said, Dylan did so much here. So, a lot of moral support, and he's just an awesome guy to work with. So, and also another shout out to Ryan Long for lending me his 24mm lens. We used that in this shot, and for most of the movie, 90% of it, I want to say we used it. So, and it looks great. So I ended up buying one myself, and we used it for the second day of shooting. We shot the primary stuff in 2 days with Dylan, and the other stuff I shot by myself. So we're here at my old high school. It's actually a really big campus, and it's got all this like grassland, fields, and grain and stuff. It's pretty cool. So we shot there. It was on a weekend, and it was still kind of muddy out though. So I was actually not supposed to wear an undershirt, but it was still really cold out there, and I'm already out there, and you can see my hands and my ears are really red. So I think this stuff really came out well. So, although I wish I could have found better shock sound effects. So the twist that's coming up now, that actually was not in the original script. The original script was much more vague, and you can kind of interpret it yourself with what it means. But that wasn't the original intention. This kind of gives it a little bit more to think about, like moves you closer to an answer. I didn't want to go all the way because I didn't want to give a full answer, because I want it to be interpretive. So, and yeah, so I go more into that behind the scenes. But this final shot was shot in my living room. I'm actually laying on an ottoman. Yeah, so, and that was shot with a big slider and big tripod. They were propped up on big plastic bins. So yeah, that was crazy. Things you got to do to get the shot, but it looked great. So I think it did. So, and we had a softbox bouncing off the ceiling, so that I love that. So really like the music here. I kind of wish I didn't have to rely on the royalty-free stuff, because it still seems kind of amateur, but it works. So hopefully maybe the next movie I can get like an actual soundtrack, somebody to score it. So we'll see. So yeah, so yeah, big thanks to Dylan Lesnar and Ryan Long and Jake Goldfarb, Brandon Dale, and special thanks to all these awesome guys. So they really helped to bring this film together. I couldn't have done it without them. So yeah. But yeah, this is the end of a 2-year journey, and I'm glad to have shared it all with you, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed listening to this commentary, and thanks guys for listening.